expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, Brother Mike is back on the radio. Arizona, welcome to Filthy Fridays. May God richly bless you. Thank you for your time. Today's Bible study, American Witchcraft on Hardcore. Hey, thank you for tuning into the program. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor from the House of Healing in Central Phoenix. We're on 11th Street, just south of Indian School Road and west of the 51 freeway, down by the VA in the heart of Maricopa County, Arizona. Thank you for your prayers and your donations. We do have a bid out on a building. Our financing is set, and we are ready to rumble. We are simply waiting for the results, and I would appreciate our friends of the ministry praying for us, praying that God's will would be done. If this building's not the building for us, I pray that the deal falls through. If it is the building for us, we will be expanding from the House of Healing and opening the Arizona Deliverance Center. It's a wonderful place, and our services will accelerate, and ministries will accelerate dramatically. Thank you for your prayers and your donations. They've been literally unbelievable. On the website, hardcorechristianity.com, you see all of our services, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Diane and Kelly are there on Wednesdays. We rotate faith healers on Thursday. If you have somebody that needs to be healed, bring them to the services on Thursday night. That would be great. My teaching service for my radio listeners is Friday at 6:30, and the deliverance training class, our training school, is Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock. On the website, you can send us another donation. Thank you so much for the money you've been sending in. It's fantastic. I don't take a salary, so all the money goes right into the ministry. I'm not like one of these TV preachers paying for a mansion and driving a fleet of luxury cars. Homie, don't play that. You can join us on YouTube, our Facebook page, or sign up for a free seminar next month. That would be great. The radio stations are always on 24/7 on soundcloud.com/hardcore-christianity. American Witchcraft. Witchcraft is taking over the country. I've explained that on several radio programs, why that has to happen. The Antichrist is coming, but the most powerful witch and warlock that ever lived is also coming ahead of him, the false prophet. And the devil is going to turn the whole planet into a cauldron of spiritualism. And he's doing that in America right now. But there's a lady on the internet. She has her own blog site, and I would recommend that you take a look at her. I was impressed with her material. An article came out on her in Charisma magazine. Beth Eckhart is her name, and she used to be a full-blooded, hardcore witch with some significant spiritual powers. She's got a blog, and they wrote an article on her, and I thought it was really interesting, and I wanted to share some of it with you. I read the article and her blog, and because I've been in the deliverance ministry for many years, and I have also run into witchcraft spirits, I know how they work. Of course, not completely. Nobody knows everything. But I do have a familiarity with witchcraft spirits and how they work and how they get into people and the kind of symptoms and symptomatology people have. And her accounts and her testimony and her information, as far as I could tell, was right on the money. Her name is Beth Eckhart. Recommend you read her blog. Very good. But she mentions in her blog quickly that when she was young, the devil had tricked her as a kid. She was always fascinated with horror movies and vampires. And then she was fascinated with the romance of vampires. You know, there's always a sensuality to spirituality. The devil always throws in fornication with witchcraft. And she became enamored with the romantic aspects of vampires. Then when she got older, as a young woman, she met a Wicca couple that were running a cafe in her town, and she got to know them, and they're the ones that introduced her into the world of white, gray, and black magic. And what they did was they gave her the foundation, or the initial teaching, to harness the power of her intentions. And that's basically what witchcraft is. It's the person's ability using The power of demons in the spirit world, familiar spirits in particular, they use these spirits to harness the person's intentions. We call them spells and vows and different things, but a witch or a warlock can harness their intentions and put supernatural power to them, and her information on this was fantastic. She said that America is being swept over unknowingly by witchcraft. And she mentions in the blog hidden magic, astrology, supernatural powers or agencies, the occult, and other things included horoscopes, fortune-telling, contacting the dead, talking to the dead, Ouija boards, chakras, channeling energy, yoga, incantations, and she goes through a litany of things that have permeated our society that are related to witchcraft. She said when she was young, she said she taught herself about holy days such as the Saim. She taught herself by studying the different kinds of gods and goddesses and why they were important. And she studied the purposes for altars and the tools that you use in rituals and casting spells or casting benefits like white witches do, trying to do good. Black magic, of course, is when you're trying to hurt someone and damage them, injure them, or kill them. She also got training in Kabbalah, which is another term for Jewish witchcraft. She also got extensive training in astral travel. She was able to do that, and that was a very powerful ritual. She had great skills in that area. She also learned other religions. She also learned how to channel energy and find enlightenment and bring her to her higher self. These were all things that she learned when she got into the spirit world. She was a white witch. And she explained that every time someone gets involved in any form of witchcraft, they're actually inviting in demon spirits. She said each spirit brings something in with it to connect them within your person. This could be false belief or sickness or addiction, anything. More importantly, she says, it causes you to feel that you have tapped into a supernatural power, which you have. And she said the power of the demonic, also known as the occult or witchcraft, is in fact a supernatural power. Now here she says something in her blog that was really interesting. She said, quote, you feel the power in some way or another. It may be another high, it may be a surge, it may be a force, it may be some kind of an awakening or something similar. She said this feeling is incredibly satisfying to our senses and fleshly ways. And she said, it creates a desire within us to continue to do it. The person wants to delve deeper and deeper into the witchcraft practice in order to reach higher levels of power that they've already experienced. And she said, quote, what is actually happening, they are granting more and more access to the depths of their soul to the demonic. Now you see, the Holy Spirit lives in the spirit man of the person. Demons head for the soul. And that's where your emotions come out of. And that's where your sensations and feelings come out of. And that's what they manipulate to control you, giving you good sensations. And she says, quote, rights are permissions to use our bodies for their works and feed our soul with their beliefs and their demonic spirits. That's exactly what I've found over the years of people who have been involved in witchcraft. The demons come in, they take their soul, they put false beliefs into their mind, and they get infected with familiar spirits. That's exactly what she said, and that's exactly what my experiences have been. She said, quote, Satan wants us to become portals of his evil work. Once we give him access, we are connected to his power. He sets up things inside of us that can work without our conscious knowledge. And boy, isn't that the truth. Almost every person that I've ever been involved with trying to cast spirits out of them, witchcraft spirits or familiar spirits, they have a subconscious life and a dream life that they cannot control. They have a dream life, repetitive dreams, nightmares, premonitions that come to them, and they are not able to control them after a while. She said, quote, basically we are actually doing witchcraft and we're not even aware of it. The connection has been made, and we've done it because of our own free will. Witches use spells, incantations, rituals, sort of like prayer, she said. It's very similar to us. They pray to gods or goddesses of their choice. They invoke more than one god in certain situations to carry out their intentions or their spells or their vows or their oaths. And they ask gods and goddesses to help them with different things in life. Very similar, she said, to the way Christians pray to God for help. They light candles and burn incense and different things, and they talk to beings in the spirit world, kind of the way some of these churches do. They have candles and incense in their religious services too. But actually it's all demonic. And then she explains the difference between a white witch, which likes to do good things for people. They call it, quote, the good of all. The black magic is where you're trying to damage, injure, or kill another person. And the gray magic, she said, was also very interesting. That's where you're neither doing good nor evil, but you're just using the power in a way for your own satisfaction or for your own amusement. And she said that is very dangerous if a person is a white witch to go to gray magic. White magic is supposedly good, but it's actually a trick. It's actually evil. But if you go to gray magic or black magic, they called it the threefold syndrome, or the law of threefold. If you made that transition, she said, from white magic to gray or black magic, what your spells would come back on you in a negative way threefold. She said it's very similar in some religions to karma. And she said it happened to her. She crossed that line, and she said her life fell apart. Her husband left her. He went to jail. He ran off with another woman. All kinds of things went bad. But she went on to explain that yoga is extremely dangerous, even healthy yoga, because spiritually, she said, you can't separate yoga from its Eastern and spiritual roots, and that the churches are being deceived getting involved with yoga. In Deuteronomy chapter 18, the Bible strictly and in no uncertain terms condemns any sport, any type, anything related to spiritualism beyond the Holy Ghost. If you have anything that's witchcraft oriented, get rid of it now.
The views expressed on the preceding program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program has been sponsored by Michael W. Smith.